Well, I'm happy to say, guys, I am back, and so is UFC. UFC 311, Islam Makhachev versus Arman Saryukian takes place this Saturday, and we've got some fucking amazing matchups on this card. Should be a ton of fun. And yeah, Happy New Year, and let's get into it. No nonsense, no bullshit. We've got the first fight of the card, which is going to be opening it up. Tagir Ulanbekov versus Clayton Carpenter. Guys, you know I'm going to be rocking with Team Habib here. Tagir Ulanbekov is going to be the pick. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to keep it slow. Clayton Carpenter is just a bit too green for me, and I'm liking Tagir Ulanbekov's stand-up. I think he's a bit sharper. I think he's a bit crisper. I think his grappling is going to be one step ahead. I think he's just going to be better. Man, newsflash, Team Habib, they're gonna run through this card. They're gonna have a great week, and yeah, it's gonna be no different here. I think Clayton Carpenter is due for a humbling. Every up and comer guy is gonna get humbled in his career at some point, unless you're really him. I don't think Clayton Carpenter is really him, especially not this new in the game. 8 fights or something. Yeah, no. So yeah, pretty easy pick there. Tagir Ulanbekov. Next up, we've got Ricky Tercios versus Bernardo Sopaj. I was pissed when this fight got taken off one of the last cards last year or something. Glad to see it's on this one, and glad to see my guy Bernardo Sopaj getting in there and getting after it. I think he's gonna run through Ricky Tercios. To be honest, I think he's gonna dog walk him. Bernardo Sopaj, I think, is gonna get the finish in round 3. He's fast on the feet, man. This guy's lightning fast, crisp technique. He's got everything going for him. I like Bernardo Sopaj a lot here, and like I said, I think he's due for a finish. I like that he got finished in his last fight, which I know is a little off-putting to hear. A lot of people, kind of look at it, the other way. You get finished in your last fight. How are you going to come back? I think Bernardo Sopaj is going to come back and respond. He's a young guy. He's a dog, and he's only going to get better. And I think that knockout, he was winning that fight. I think it's only going to be a wake-up call for him. I think he's going to come in there even more calculated, even sharper, and just go ahead and dog walk Ricky Tercios around the octagon. So yeah, we're going to go with Bernardo Sopaj. Super confident on that pick. Put your money on it. If it misses, I'll refund you. How's that sound? Okay. Next up, we've got Rinya Nakamura versus back hair. I'm kidding. It's Muin Gafarov. He's got a big patch of back hair. You guys will see it if you haven't already seen it. It's disgusting. But anyways, yeah, Rinya Nakamura versus Muin. I think Muin is gonna get fucking ragdolled. I don't think there will be any cheese grating either. I think it'll just be him, back on the mat, and that's what the fight will look like until Rinya gets a ground and pound finish. You got an Olympian level wrestler who, kind of got a fucked matchup in his last fight. He got the knockoff Ryan Hall, and yeah, that fight's no fun for anybody. This should be a lot more fun. Muin's grappling is a little bit more rudimentary, a little bit more basic. And like I said, Rinya should have a performance, that kind of puts him on the map. Like I said, that last fight wasn't really fair for Rinya. I don't even know the guy's name, but it was a terrible fight. Go back and watch it. Anyways, Muin, the fact that Kong, Mr. Perfect Boy, I don't know what the fuck his nickname is, but the fact that guy was, kind of ragdolling Muin at points, and, kind of just doing what he wanted with the grappling, and Muin showed really low fight IQ, just chucking overhands into a wrestler, like getting shot on, all the above. I just feel good about Rinya here. I think this is another lock where it's like, put your money on it, come back and get a refund from me if it misses. So I feel really safe about Rinya here. It should be a very easy fight. So I'm going to pick Rinya for the lock. Another lock of the card. So 2 locks. Tagir realistically should be a lock. Okay. Here we go. This one's going to be nice. We've got Carol Rosa versus Eileen Perez. I've made some money on Eileen Perez. I've enjoyed the show, if you know what I'm saying. I'm going to pick Eileen Perez for a few different reasons. I think a few of you should be able to guess it if you've watched her fights. Yeah, Carol Rosa, she's got good leg kicks. She's got decent grappling, nothing special. She got taken down by McMahon, or, that 40-year-old that fought in the UFC. She got ragdolled around by her and lost to her. I think Eileen Perez is kind of like a better version, like a younger, better version of that. So I don't see why this matchup would be too much different. I'm not going to obviously have money on Eileen Perez, but I do want to see her win and go up on that jumbotron and just shake that fucking thing. Yeah, man, Eileen Fresh should win, and it'll be a win for all of us. We will all win in that one. So let's go and lock in Miss OnlyFans. Um, Next up, man, Zachary Reese, the ugly mullet. You know, how could you ever rock a mullet? It's terrible. I'm playing. Um, Anyways, Azamat Bakoya versus Zachary Reese, the hillbilly. Um, I don't know, man. Zachary Reese kind of sucks, man. I was excited because Cedricus sucks equally as bad, and I could easily pick Zachary Reese and feel good about it. But now they put somebody in there who's just a step above Cedricus, Boot Gang, and now I'm like, man, I don't know what to pick here. You go watch the footage for this shit and tell me who do you want to pick. I am going to go with Zachary Reese. I think he is going to be a bit crisper. I think he's going to have that reach advantage, and he's going to be able to fire those 1-2s down the pipe, and I hope he just sticks to the fundamentals, and he should get the job done. Don't blow your load. Stick to the fundamentals. Straight shots. I know Asmat's big into looping punches, I believe, from the footage I've watched. Nothing has really stood out in his game to me. I think this is a really good test for Zachary Reese. If he doesn't win this fight, he's going to be nothing. And, I think you could already go ahead and draw that conclusion. Getting slammed and dunked on your head by Cody Brundage, it's absolutely pathetic and disgraceful. It's hard to even pick Zachary Reese here, but I am going to lock him in. He's definitely not a lock, and I wouldn't have a dime on him, but I am going to pick Zachary Reese. I don't even know what the odds are for this fight. Did they have them yet? No, they don't. Anyways, finally, that's over with. We're going to go into a really interesting fight here. Grant Dawson versus Diego Ferreira. Obviously, it's really interesting because although Diego Ferreira is like 40, he's just been on a bit of a tear, man. I think he's had one of the most impressive wins you could have in unranked in the division against Mateus Rebecki, especially. That win's aging even better after Mateus Rebecki got that win over Maitabek Orobai. That was a fucking best fight of the year. That was my fight of the year for me. But yeah, Diego Ferreira has been looking fucking good, man. He's dangerous, and if you go and gas out on this guy, and man, he's lethal, man. He's got good striking, great chin for a 40-year-old too, super impressive chin. Um, with all that being said, though, I think the guys that have fought him, Mateus Rebecki, although he's a wrestler, he's more of a brawler, and I don't think his wrestling technique is that supreme. I don't think it's that great. I think he's more of like a muscle wrestler, and Grant Dawson's not that, man. He's an actual purebred, full all the way through wrestler, and my prayer is just that he doesn't go and strike with Diego Ferreira. I hope that I could hear the commentators already saying, wow, look at Grant Dawson, he's really improved his skills, and then him getting fucking dropped by Diego Ferreira. After seeing him get dropped by a jab, I'm absolutely horrified to put a dime on Grant Dawson, but I think he's pretty safe in this one. I really hope Grant Dawson goes in there and sticks to his game plan. Keep heavy top pressure. Keep those hips close. Don't let Diego frame his feet on your hips. And you should win this fight, right? Shoot. Get the takedown. Set it up. Don't just run and just shoot into him. Don't gas yourself. Don't blow your load, forcing a takedown. But look for the takedown. Set it up. Keep heavy top pressure like Grant Dawson does. Look for ground and pound. And the fight should be yours, man. Grant Dawson has got a clear path to victory here. I don't think Diego Ferreira is going to be able to match that wrestling, and I just think Grant Dawson should get it done. Like I said, after seeing Grant Dawson get one-shotted by a jab, it's hard to ever bet on this guy or ever feel like he's a lock, but I feel pretty confident in Grant Dawson. If they were to run this fight 10 times, I think Grant Dawson wins it 7 out of 10. So, that's kind of about how I'm feeling about this one. So let's go with Grant Dawson here. Should be a nice fight for him. Okay, next up we've got Bogdan Guskov versus Billy Elikana. I can't open up the screen, but Billy Elikana, I'll give you guys a bit of a rundown in case you didn't want to do the research, which this was probably the worst research on the entire card that I've done was Billy Elikana. Not worst as in effort wise, but worst quality of watching fights. Most boring fighter I think I've ever seen. Billy Elikana might be the most boring. I'd rather watch Muhammad Makayev grapple fuck somebody for 5 rounds than watch Billy Elikana fight. I really hope Bogdan goes. Fuck, dude, this guy's name just throws me off. I really hope Bogdan goes in there and just slumps Billy Elikana, but the way he fights, he hasn't gotten KO'd for a reason, is because this guy just point fights very French-esque. I don't know if he's not French, but fights like a Frenchman, scared, scared, and he's just gonna go in there, leg kick, teep, jab, 1-2, back up, back up, back up, and that's Billy Elikana. You know, that's all he's got. You know, there's no layers to his game. Super boring fighter. I hope Bogdan goes in there and sleeps him, and they cut him immediately and don't even let Billy Elikana get a chance to get his hands on the other light heavyweights. Um, yeah, man. I mean, he's not bad. And, you know, if I was realistically looking at this matchup wise, I think this is a bad matchup for Bogdan. But I'm hoping the aggression and the pressure should just win him bigger moments. And I could see a close, like a split decision here for Bogdan, you know, just winning bigger moments in the rounds. But, you know, Billy Elikana probably having a little bit higher volume. This is definitely going to be something new that Billy Elikana has never seen. He's going to be coming in on short notice as well. Replacement fight for Johnny Walker. I think that really took a hit on the card, to be honest. I really liked that fight. This was one of my more excited fights to watch. Johnny Walker go and, you know, have ragdoll physics and have a cartoon-ass KO, get knocked out. But yeah, I'm going to go with Bogdan. I don't know, man. What a disgrace, man. Get this guy out of the UFC, Billy Elikana. Okay, next up, you know, we should be getting a finish in this fight. I think this is definitely due and live for a finish. I think Sergey's going to have the advantage on the feet. Jalton's going to have the speed advantage. You know, speed in MMA is absolutely crucial. I think he's going to have the strength advantage, athleticism advantage, grappling advantage, wrestling advantage. I think he's going to have all of that. But I will say, you know, the pick is going to be Jalton, but I will say heed caution to this fight because Jalton is a quitter. We saw that in that Curtis Blades fight. You know, I don't know if he just doesn't know how to chain wrestle or he just didn't try to. I mean, I know he knows how to chain wrestle. I've done the research on him. I know he can, but he just quit or something, or I don't know. I don't know. I can't blame him too much. He got smacked in the back of the head 10 times in a row, but I don't know, bro. Jalton Almeida just, I don't know. Something stinks about this matchup, but realistically, Jalton should run through Sergey Spivak, but I don't know. Something just smells off with this one. I am going to pick Jalton. I don't know how much money I'll be having on him. I got to see Jalton, you know, the Romanov fight, but Romanov's a fat slob. So is Sergey. He's a fat walrus slob, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Jalton's the pick, but yeah, I would just be careful. I wouldn't load on this fight. This is like a parlay piece was just like a one time thing. You don't really need him in much more because Jalton can blow it, bro. He can definitely blow it. Next up, we got Peyton Talbot versus Raoni Barcelos. I don't know. Guys, do I need to break this one down for you? If you don't know, now you should know. Peyton Talbot is going to run through Raoni Barcelos, and it's going to be easy. And we're going to be saying, why are we watching Peyton Talbot fight these old vets that should be retired? Why are we watching prospects fight vets? I just hate it. I want to see prospects fight prospects, in which I did get to see that, you know, Cameron Simon versus Peyton Talbot. But, you know, the fact that he, you know, just absolutely obliterated and dog-walked Cameron Simon the way he did, I think that's going to be, you know, a bit of a tell. Like, okay, let's give him a jump up. Let's give him the Umar treatment. I'm fine with doing that with prospects that are that good, man. I'm fine with it. It's fun. It's way more exciting than watching him go beat up on Raoni Barcelos for a round or two and then knock him out. So that's going to obviously be what happens. Peyton Talbot's going to get a finish in this fight. If he doesn't, either an off night or this guy's not going to be much. So I'm going to go with Peyton Talbot to get a finish here. I'm also going to go with Jalton Almeida to get a finish in that last fight. But yeah, Peyton Talbot should get a finish here. Should be a pretty easy night in the office for him. And I want to see him fight like a Corey Sandhagen next. I think that's a fun matchup. Corey Sandhagen versus Peyton Talbot. Or maybe like a Song Yadong. Oh, fuck. That'd be a fun fight. Song Yadong versus Peyton Talbot. Yeah, let's see something like that next. Anyways, we're actually on the main card now. This main card is pretty great, if you ask me. Not too many complaints. Starting it off, I've got a pretty good lean on this fight, and I think I'm absolutely right. Round 1 KO, Kevin Holland. Guys, the long arms of Kevin Holland, the way Reiner defends, he does like a goofier Alex Pereira defense style. Like he'll just lean back and just have his chin up in the air. And this is exactly what you're going to see. You're going to see him lean back, put his arms up, and then he's going to get caught. He's going to drop. He's going to look like a fucking cartoon figurine. This could be our replacement for the Johnny Walker knockout we should have had. It's going to be Reiner de Ritter. I feel absolutely confident. Kevin Holland goes in there and knocks this guy out. I think his takedowns are lackluster. This is Reiner, by the way. Takedown striking is horrible. He looks slow. He looks like he's stuck in the mud. I don't know, man. I don't think his takedowns are that special. I don't think he's that special. I think it was just a tailor-made matchup in Jared Mearshart, a guy that doesn't have a lot of power and doesn't really do much and kind of relies on the jiu-jitsu, which Rainer's a jiu-jitsu guy. I think Kevin Holland, this isn't a Hamzat who's going to come in there and push this crazy pace and get him out of there quick. This is going to be a guy that's going to stand up with him for a second and look to set up a takedown. And before he even can, I think Kevin Holland's going to be sniping this guy, and he's going to force Reiner into a bad shot, get shucked off, and just absolutely fucking put him away. I think Kevin Holland's also got a chip on his shoulder because, last time somebody came in from a different organization and MVP, he got embarrassed. And I think he's going to want to show, like, okay, yeah, I'm actually good. I hope that's the case, man. You never know what you're getting with Kevin Holland, but I think this is going to be a knockout. Clear knockout for Kevin Holland. Okay, I've got a controversial one here, guys. If you don't know what that means here, listen. I know Hanato is on a hype train right now, and everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. And I love to ride hype in fighting and in sports in general and in life in general. And I think you're not wrong to ride hype because usually hype gathers around something for a good reason. And I think that is the case here. Hanato is good, man, and he has been having a resurgence in his career, and I'm happy for him. I love him. He's got a great personality. He's good for the sport. But hear me out, man. This is not a good matchup for him. This is going to be like the thing that we'll talk about. I'll probably end up making a video after it happens. How Renato Moicano blew his career. This is not the fight to take, man. I don't know why we're fighting Beneil here. I don't get it, man. Just wait for the Patty fight. Get the Patty fight figured out. I don't know if he's got an explanation. I haven't seen it. I'm sure he has some explanation. I hope. This was not the fight to take. He should have fought. Sorry, my phone's ringing. But anyways, he should have fought somebody like a Patty Pimblett or somebody with a little bit more name value because here's exactly what's going to happen. Beneil's going to defend every takedown, and even if he does get him down, he's not going to get that ground and pound off that he did on Benoit. Benoit, his ground game is not that impressive, especially his defensive ground game, and that's typical for a marauder that's used to bullying. He's not a good nail. Beneil is, man. Beneil will not get taken down. He will stuff every one of those takedowns. He has the jiu-jitsu to keep up with Hanato. I would even go to say that he might even have better. I think he might have better jiu-jitsu, and his ground and pound isn't as good as Hanato's. I think Hanato might have a little bit better ground and pound, but Beneil's jiu-jitsu straight up might just be better, and his wrestling defense is there. So I see this being a stand-up fight. And I think Hanato's shit on the feet, man. I think he's defensively incompetent, and I think Beneil's just better everywhere. Like, I just think, and I don't think Beneil beats very many other guys in the division. I think Hanato could beat more guys that Beneil wouldn't beat. But like I said, stylistically and matchup-wise, this is just a bad matchup for Hanato. And I've got Beneil winning this, either like a round 2 KO. I could definitely see like Hanato going to throw his right kick. And go watch that Mateus Gamrot fight. I don't know, man. It's tough. Watch the Mateus Gamrot fight. What I was going to say is, Beneil has got some good counters, and he does have some pop in his hands. Like, I don't know. Everybody looks at him as old man Beneil, and I do too. And I wouldn't really pick him to beat many other people. But, this is a bad matchup for Hanato. So I'm going to go with Beneil to win this on the scorecards. I think he's just going to do more on the feet every round, and I think by round 3, it's going to look bad, man. It's going to look bad for Hanato, and people are going to be writing off Hanato as if he's dog shit, and he's going to kind of throw his career away here. I think this was a terrible decision. Okay, next up we've got Yuri Prohaska versus Jamal Hill. Yeah, I mean, what a meme matchup. This is probably the most fun matchup on the card in terms of the goofiness. The fight itself is going to be fun. The finish that's going to happen here will be fun too. All of it's just going to be goofy. The embedded episodes, all of it. It's great, man. I love Yuri. I love Jamal Hill too. He's such a goof. He's such a dork. Yeah, he's a meme, man. these guys are both memes, and this is an absolute amazing matchup. Um, breaking down the X's and O's is tough, but what I have to say is I think Charlie, and I know this is a bit of MMA math, I think Charlie Radke beats Jamal Hill. I think he's more technically sound. And you also have to remember, both these guys are coming off like pretty serious injuries. I think Jamal Hill's injury is worse. So neither Yuri or Jamal Hill are ever going to be the same fighter that they initially were. And I think it's going to speak more on Jamal's part, because I think, shoulder is a little bit easier to recover from a full Achilles tear. And Jamal also came back really fast and really soon. I don't like that. I don't like people coming back soon from injuries. I think you really need to nurse it and take your time. And I think Jamal Hill's ego is going to be the problem this matchup. I think he's going to land a couple shots on Yuri, be smiling. I think he's going to win round one. Go back to the corner. It's all smile. It's all I told you so, mentality. And he's going to get cocky. He's going to be piecing up Jamal Hill about a minute and a half into round two. And I think he's gonna be piecing up Yuri about a minute and a half into round two, and I think Yuri's gonna fucking crack him, man. I think he's gonna crack him, and I think Jamal's gonna get that wide-eyed look, like, oh, this isn't a walk in the park. And I think it'll be a competitive round two. Yuri getting the edge based off that damage that he'll do, and then I think in round three, I think Yuri is gonna have the durability, the better chin, and I don't know. I could see a finish for Yuri. I don't think his chin's cracked. I don't think his chin will ever be cracked. And I think Jamal Hill is just going to be a little bit too overzealous, too overconfident in this matchup, and I think he's going to pay for it. So I'm going to go with Yuri Prohaska here. I don't feel great about it, but I feel decent about it. I think Yuri should win this fight. Okay, next up. Yeah, I mean, Umar's winning this fight. Team Habib, like I said, they're going to be game planning. They've already devised a game plan, and I think this is the worst matchup. I think Merab beats every other person in this division. I think it's a clear 1 and 2, Merab and Umar, and I think the only person that could beat Umar is, like I said this way back in a video. The only person that could beat Umar is Piotr Yan or a older, more mature Song Yadong, like an overlooked Song Yadong, like like 3-4 years removed, and Umar's on the latter half of his career, like looking to retire, and he's taking like 1 or 2 more fights, and Song Yadong gets a crazy upset. Because I think that's the only person athletic and explosive enough that could enter into the boxing range and expose Umar in the boxing range. Because I think that's the only place you can expose him. But in order to even get into boxing range, you have to have sick takedown defense. And yeah, this is a terrible matchup for Merab, man. I think the grappling is gonna look similar to like Islam versus Arman's first fight. Like, I think Umar's just gonna have the slight edge in the grappling. I don't think Merab's takedowns are anything wicked or anything crazy that Umar hasn't seen. It's just gonna be whether or not Merab can set the pace. And I could easily see Umar winning 4 out of the 5 rounds. I could see him losing like round 2. I could see Merab picking up the pace and kind of maybe putting more on, but I don't know. I think Umar should be fine, or maybe even losing like round 5. I could see him like kind of fading a little bit, losing round 5. But I don't think there should be a finish. If there's a finish, it's going to be on the Umar side. I could see him KOing Merab or something. But this feels like an absolute lock of the card to me. Like I said, come back, get your money's back if this isn't. Umar is going to get the job done. We're going to see An Newt for Umar Nurmagomedov. And I'm excited. I think he's pretty fun. I know a lot of people like to bash on him, but I think he's really fun. I think he's got a great style, entertaining style. And this is one of the few like Dagestani Russian Team Habib guys that I actually really enjoy watching, along with Tagir. Tagir's really good too. Islam too. Man, these guys are great, man. What a fucking tremendous camp. People are talking about the fighting nerds, but bro, Team Habib is fucking crazy. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to go with Umar. Should be pretty cut and dry. He's just going to outpoint, out tit for tat on the feet, and then defend the grappling. And even if Merab can hold Umar against the cage, which I think he will be able to do that for the most part, I don't think there's going to be any damage on the cage. And the second he creates space, Umar's going to be getting off the cage. So, and the second he creates space to do damage, Umar's going to be off the cage. So that's really all he can do is look like that Jose Aldo fight, except the difference being that that's kind of sketchy. No, the difference being that Umar could actually grapple back, and he's going to have the kicking the kicking game, which we saw O'Malley actually be pretty successful with. Except he was way scared to do kicks comparatively to Umar because of his grappling base. I don't know. I'm talking like a bot. Anyways, Islam Makhachev main event, main card, main event. Here we go, big fight here. Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan. I know I've been hearing the rumblings about Arman's gonna win this, Arman's gonna win that. Man, Arman's a sneaky underdog. He is a sneaky underdog. It is true. Arman can definitely win this fight. I don't see it, man. I think you have to be able to finish Islam Makhachev in order to win against him. And I think the prophecy is going to uphold. I think this is going to be a razor close fight. Could I see that? I guess, okay. It's going to be a split decision. I think I'm pretty confident on that. It's going to be a razor close fight. Like, oh, I give that one to Arman. I give that one to Islam. I give that one to Arman. Like, it's hard to even judge some of these rounds. I think it's going to be split decision. I think it's going to go to Islam, man. I do. I really think it's going to go to Islam. Split decision. I think there's a prophecy fighter, and there's a guy that's destined to beat Islam, and I will be the first to say it, and I will be the first. I don't know if I'll be the first to say it, but Ilia Topuria will KO Islam Makhachev. Yeah. Round 3, KO for Ilia Topuria against Islam Makhachev. I'll be the first one to predict it. I'll do it. Anyways, yeah, I just don't think Arman. I think it's gonna. Did anybody watch the first fight? I get it. Arman was a lot younger, but like, just as much as Arman's gotten better, I think Islam's gotten better too. I think their grappling, both of them, is still gonna be nil. It's kind of be like Islam might have this slight tiny edge in grappling, but I think Islam's gotten so much better on the feet. While like Arman's gotten like a little bit more flexible and like throws a couple more kicks and like his striking got a little bit better. I think Islam's gotten way better, and I think this fight could be a split decision. But if there is going to be a blowout or a finish, it's on the Islam side all day. So I've got all of Team Khabib sweeping, but I will say out of the 3 Team Khabib guys, Tagir, Umar, and Islam, I'm least confident about Islam. So just be careful on that if you are going to be riding that. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for the picks. I will be getting back to you guys later this week with my bets. I'm super excited about this card. It should be a really fun one. And I'm glad to be back, guys, man. Like, fuck, I finally have like a legit setup. If you guys could see my desk, I'll definitely drop the picture in the future of what my setup looked like before and what it looks like now. But I'm just going to be yapping now, too, if you guys are only here for the picks. But, yeah, I got to fix a couple things with the camera and whatnot. And other than that, fuck, the quality of the video should be going up tremendously. We're going to be recording. Fuck, I'm about to throw up. We're going to be recording a lot more and getting a lot more content and shit out and doing a lot more other than just picks and predictions. So I'm really excited. 2025 is going to be a big year for me, man. If you guys would drop the sub, drop a comment too, so I know that you guys are here from the beginning before I blow up. That'd be awesome. Because I want to be able to recognize and know those people that are here around when I first started out. Because like I said, there's going to be a lot of growth this year and the next up and coming years. I'm not slowing down. I'm only picking up and speeding up. You guys are going to be getting a lot better content from me in the near future and for a while. So I'm sticking around. I'm here to stay. Thanks for tuning in and have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll get back to you guys later in this week. I'm out.